Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Raleigh where the statewide Booze It and Lose It campaign is back on this year for Halloween. The State Department of Transportation says law enforcement will increase patrolling and sobriety checkpoints to catch impaired drivers during the holiday week, running from October 22nd to November 2nd. Now, Director Mark Ezell said, quote, "A critical part of celebrating Halloween is planning ahead to ensure the safety of everyone. Drivers should secure a designated sober driver to transport you to and from your festivities," end quote. Now, the DOT says 588 DWI arrests were made during last year's Halloween campaign. And in good news, for those of you who enjoy a nice ferry ride around our sounds, the North Carolina Ferry Division announced that it will again gain $7 million this year thanks to Senate Bill 449 being passed on Tuesday by the General Assembly. The North Carolina Ferry Division showed gratitude to state lawmakers for the funding. Jed Dixon, the director of the NC Ferry Division, said, quote, "This funding will help pay for a U.S. Coast Guard required dry dock, enable us to pay for the necessary preventative maintenance for our vessels, help our marine infrastructure, and allow for dredging," end quote. Now, this comes after the Department of Transportation proposed a 43% departure cut to the ferry service from Minnesota Beach to Cherry Branch in Craven County. Dixon says the bill will prevent those cuts and ensure customers can ride the ferry without reduced schedules. And now for a look at your weather forecast. Again, today has been a day marked by the sunshine, but we've been able to say that about every single day of this work week. We will have changes coming up next week, but this weekend likely looking at kind of a transition between those two realities of one, the one that we're in, very sunny and dry weather, and the next, a little bit cooler, but certainly more cloudy and damp. We need the rain. We very much need the rain across eastern North Carolina, but we're not going to see it today. Here's a look outside through our Washington cam. 69 degrees, westerly breeze at 3 miles an hour, and lots of sunshine. That sunshine carrying over into your Saturday. Sunday, a little bit more cloud cover tries to show up later on in the afternoon. Current air temperatures right now reading in the mid to upper 60s, with low 70s being reported across Swan Quarter, Kinston, Kenansville, and Stumpy Point. A little bit warmer than expected thanks to the northerly winds being a little bit lighter than what we were anticipating, looking at more of a 10 to 15 mile per hour breeze, and clearly we're not receiving that. We're looking at more of a 5 to 10 mile per hour breeze across the east, and the lighter those winds are, the easier it is for our air to heat up, and that's exactly what it's done today. But I do want to highlight the fact that humidity will try to make its way back into eastern North Carolina by the time we reach Monday. Now, are we talking about summertime humidity? No, we are not. But we will see enough moisture in the air to not soak up all the rain as it comes down. The system further back towards the west, again, will be with us coming up, I would say, late Sunday night at the very earliest. I think more so Monday into Monday morning. We're going to be seeing that system roll in. It's, again, going to be a fairly slow-moving system, but it is eventually going to bring us plenty of rain to eastern North Carolina. As far as what we've got for the rest of this afternoon, again, air temperatures will start to cool down from here on out. We may maintain the heat from now until 4 p.m., but then later on this evening, if you're headed out to any high school football games, make sure you dress warm. You're likely going to be sitting on some bleachers. Bring a seat cushion. That will help warm you up and keep you toasty through the game. 56 degrees at 7, 53 by 8, and most of the games usually get done between 9 and 10 p.m. And at that point, we're going to be sitting right around the 50-degree mark. Lots of clear skies over eastern North Carolina will actually push air temperatures down potentially into the upper 30s for some inland areas tomorrow morning. If you're watching closer to I-95 or the Virginia line, understand that frost may be a possibility for you tomorrow morning. Now, if you're watching closer to the water, frost not a concern quite just yet. But tomorrow morning will be a chilly one throughout eastern North Carolina as we head into the afternoon hours, back into the mid-60s. Some may try to sneak up into the upper 60s, but it's not really looking like a super warm weekend. mid-60s, very seasonable, especially the weekend before Halloween, which right now, looking dry, looking dry. I'm going to, knocking on wood, while I say that, make sure we try to keep that dry forecast intact for Friday. But what you're not seeing there Friday night into the following Saturday, those overnight lows, again, going to be getting chilly, possibly upper 30s to low 40s. So now is the time to figure out your Halloween costume, obviously, but then try to make adjustments to make it a little bit more comfortable and go with the forecast. It's going to be cold, it's going to be dry, and again, if you can incorporate maybe a jacket into your costume, you will be thankful you thought about it early versus later. Well, that's all we have time for today's 3 p.m. News and Weather Update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic Friday. If I don't see you at 4, have a wonderful weekend.